Hello, everyone. Good time zone to you, and welcome. Chat has spoken. Premier draft time. We're still here in Innistrad, and we will be in the next set, but the setting stays the same, but the cards all change. So we're closing in on the end of this format, and I continue to be thankful that it corrected enough to allow us to be anywhere. Although also I feel like now I've kind of corrected away from black cards, especially. I think I'm taking blue a lot because blue goes into a lot of the non-black blue decks that I've been having fun with. I love red-blue spells. The green-blue graveyard deck is fun. And white-blue, of course, one of the top archetypes. So I continue to gravitate towards blue a lot, but I've actually been falling off of black, probably to my own detriment, probably feeling like I don't want to take another diagraph horde, you know? I don't want to take another black removal spell. And I think I'm probably lowering my win EV by a touch by subconsciously or even narrowly consciously avoiding black a little bit. I'm going to try and stop doing that and just get back to what's the best card in this pack. And maybe that leans us a little more into black lanes again. But I do continue to feel like black and blue are the most contested colors generally. And so it's also more, high risk to push into those colors still because of their well-known power level at this point. Well-known power level of retailers, Card Kingdom is #1. They're the Black Lotus of Magic retailers, if you ask me. Maybe the Soul Ring, maybe the Ancestral. You decide. But it's them. They're my favorite Magic retailer besides myself. You can also buy from me, too. I have a little storefront over here. But Card Kingdom blows me away on basically everything but price and buy list, because the Card Kingdom buy list is so good, I have to copy it, or else what am I even doing? So I match Card Kingdom buy list rates when I buy cards, but that also means a lot of times, like what I do when I buy cards, is it's like, ooh, here's a $20 card. I'll pay $20 for this card because Card Kingdom is paying $20 for this card. Oh, to sell it on my platform, I could get $21.50 for this card. It is not worth $1.50 for me to sell this card. It goes right in the go ahead and sell it to Card Kingdom pile. So their buy prices are so good that my whole process revolves around diverting cards into two piles: the stuff I'll actually try to sell and get a little margin on, and the stuff I've given up on and I'm just sending to Card Kingdom because I can't beat them. So please remember, if you're ever selling your cardboard, to ship it over to Card Kingdom or tap me on the shoulder and give me a chance to buy it instead. But basically, Card Kingdom drives the prices. If I can't match them, what am I doing? So good thing is they're just down the street. So when I do drop off a load of cards that I'm going to let them sell instead of me because they apparently have the margin on it and I don't, it's just a roll down the hill. All right. Yeah, can't beat them, shill them. Well, as long and I like that Card Kingdom knows that I sell cards, but they're like, yeah, we'll sponsor you anyway because you are not a threat, sir. And actually, I use my own personal presence in the secondary market to help inform my little pitches for Card Kingdom here, because I'm deep in it, so I know how good they are. You do too, if you check them out. Let's jump in here. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Really appreciate how everybody who sticks around here does use that link. I see the numbers, and it helps. Oh, we want Draft View. Here we go. No, that's not Draft View. Here's Draft View. There you go. I'm not shilling. It's testimonials, baby. This rare is gold and not good enough to take here. It's fine. If I'm in blue-white, I'm going to play it. Well, you need ETBs, but mostly blue-white has enough ETBs to make this worth playing, but certainly not worth first picking. Our first picks here include, let's just reserve the Wrangler. That seems like the best card in the pack. On an offline draft last night, I first picked Eccentric Farmer because it was literally the only green card in the pack. And then really perfectly carved out a green-blue lane from there. And I think I was the only green drafter. And then the cards just weren't in the packs. It was crazy. I was getting everything in the wheel, but there was nothing in the packs. It was really frustrating. Sometimes you do that. You do all the right things, but then the cards just aren't there. We're going to take Wrangler, though. It's too good as a place to start. Wrangler Rise could be a fun direction, and certainly nothing pulling me in black here with the Bat Whisperer. So Rise over Sprout. Were you drafting offline recently, Media? Yeah, the drafting gets a lot worse at the store level on an individual level. Like, you know, average drafting level online is definitely higher than average drafting level at the store. Yeah, Sprout's cool, but Rise of the Ants is cooler. Oh, I said offline. Sorry, I meant off air. I say that, I get that mixed up sometimes. I meant off air. I was drafting on Arena and, but was off air. Sorry. Midnight Ambush, best card here. Can't Stay Away. Very similar to that blue-white gold card in the sense that it's not amazing, but you're generally playing this when you're in these colors, but it's not a priority. Yeah, we'll take the Ambush. We're not going to be... We're just on best card here, and this is best card by quite a bit out of this pack. Candlegrove Witch, Angler... Silverbolt. Silverbolt is interesting because it goes in anything. But yeah, Angler goes in both directions of blue, and our best card is blue. So yeah, I'm with chat on the Angler front here. Bolt is probably second place just based on its ability to be included in any deck. And especially if we end up in blue-green, I do like having some extra interaction. But yes, I also, early on, is where cutting colors matters for your pack 2. It doesn't matter. It's not hugely important for the whole draft because it's really only about pack 2. But as you cut colors, you're just more likely to get hooked up with them in the next pack. I'm going to take Eaten Alive. It's so much better than Duel for Dominance, and we're starting to find a potential blue-black zombie lane, which, if the table wants to give us, I'm not going to... I've got to stop trying so hard to help the format self-correct that I'm not taking the black-blue zombie deck when it presents itself. But we're still searching. I mean, I could take a Spirit, but it's not the best card here. Timberland Guide might be the best card in a color we already have. I don't see taking a Sacred Fire when we are specifically at the opposite side of the pentagram from the old Sacred Fire. Yeah, Patrol, probably best card over Survivor. They're similarly kind of medium, though. I'm going to take Guide. No, I'll take Bat Whisperer. I'll take Spirit. Spirit. I'm not pivoting to Boros, but I'll take Spirit. It's pack didn't really matter all that much, honestly. Now we're somewhat put to a test between No Way Out and Sentry. I think Sentry is the better card. No Way Out represents the better archetype. Chat likes just taking the better card. And it's true, this gives us 2 green cards that are solid, 2 black cards that are solid, and we can still figure out where we're going. I think if... it'd be interesting to be like... we should have like a limited deck building competition to solve some of these. Media and Pablo are both on blue-green being better than blue-black. I find that interesting, but I don't agree, but that's cool. We don't have to agree. wilds or gaze. If we're blue-green, gaze plays, but I'm going to take the wilds. I think it just goes in anything. And observer could also go in anything. I just don't like these bat whispers. The black doesn't complement the blue very well. Well, I got a Scob Wrangler who'd like to have a conversation with you about what she's looking for out of life. Yeah, Wrangler does dig the ants, although let's face it, tapping your opponent's stuff with 3/3 full creatures is not as good as tapping your opponent's stuff with 2/2 decay tokens. That's an amazing mythic. It's not really on plan for us. We're going to let somebody else have it. Yeah. We can take Castaway, but I think Castaway is at least blue. And it goes in any of the decks we're working towards. If we don't end up in... I mean, Awakener, I think I like a little better than Castaway. But Castaway is the guaranteed play. So I'm going to take it, even though it's a notch below the Awakener on my list. We now have a Death Sprout opportunity, but Intruder for the same reason I just took a blue card in the previous pick. You could make a case that Sprout is a better pick if we know we're blue-green, but the only thing we know right now is that we're blue, so I'm going to keep on the path that we know. Flesh Taker, pretty sweet. You can take a Scob here, hedging on the blue-black lane. Nothing else really in competition, right? Cavalry, not good enough. Nowhere near Flesh Taker. Firmament Sage, not better than Scob. Here's a Diagraph Horde for us. So it looks like we're in blue-black. Another Scob. Over Zombie. Well, you could make a case for Siege Zombie over a second Scob, like first Zombie, but we have time to find one of these. Let's grab another Lord. Interesting choices here for late in the pack. Procession. If we're doing a little more sacrifice, I could get behind it here. But I think Occultist or Consider are more interesting to me. Not that. Now I've lost track of things. I guess I'll Consider. Here's another chance at a Procession. I just don't think... I mean, I'll take it here because there's nothing else. But I don't know if we're playing this card. I'm going to put it in the board right now. I do like a flip, though. I'm going to try and not play the Behemoth as well. A little expensive for what we're trying to do. Second flip is fine. We'll take the Duress just to signal colors, even though it's kind of late for signaling colors to really matter. Also not playing Gaze in this deck. Probably not Unblinking Observer. I'm going to cut it for now and hope we can not have to bring it in. Hopefully we don't even bring in like Storm. Like, this is perfectly fine. These are fine playables. These are okay at 5, both of them. But I just really want to try to be lower down in a format with such good removal. Oh yeah, randomly just saw an email from Slam Dunk who was mentioning the Mountain Goats and their recent blow up on TikTok, which is just hilarious. as an old, watching Gen Z discover stuff that I've known for decades is just adorable. But I'm loving it for John Darnielle, the effectively who is the Mountain Goats. It's great for him. Pivot to blue-red. I mean, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not even the worst idea, but we're just going to take Eaten Alive. Yeah, it's the clear pick here. Cut Purse if it wheels would be cool. But yeah, you could do this. We're not so far off of this that you couldn't do this, especially because we have seen red pretty open. We don't have really any other red to bring in along with it, though. So we're just going to take the solid pick in our lane. And unfortunately, really punished here. There's Scoundrel, I suppose, is good enough. How are our 4s looking? Yeah, we don't even have a 4 yet. So we'll take the Scoundrel and play it. But it's a bad pack. If we were green-blue, we'd be thrilled with this tracker, of course. But we're no longer there. We could take another Evolving Wilds and make sure our mana is just awesome. It might be even correct. Like, this might even wheel. This has done some work against me when it does get attacking, but man, it's an underwhelming card for 4 mana. Media calls it easy. I don't think it's easy, but I do think we might wheel that other one, so I'm in for it. And we are a champ deck. We would like to get some more zombie creation, but this is fine. I mean, you only have to land 1 zombie before this is okay, and then a second zombie and it's actively good. Defenestrate would be nice too. I don't mind the interaction, but let's take the aggro zombie. Revenge looking great here. Interaction, decay token, and a 4-drop. It's like perfect on several levels here. Rotten Reunion is a zombie maker, but I don't think it's one we want to grab here. This is not a Roost deck, not really a cover-up deck. I guess we could be on No Way Out or even the Bat Whisperer. Bat Whisperer it's not a zombie token, but it does create extra stuff for Wrangler to work with. You like the Reunion? Man, I like this one. I'll take it, and we'll consider it, but I don't love it main deck unless... here we go. Unless I have Awakeners. Awakeners do change it for me, though. Like, Awakener into, okay, Desperation Reunion for fodder is totally reasonable, and I'm really happy to pick up an Awakener here. No Way Out. Yeah, we'll consider it. It could make the cut. Another one, though, I'm not going to play over just a larder zombie. There's another... I didn't mention the zombie in the other pack because the Awakener was just so clearly better, but I am happy to get a larder zombie here. Well, the green lane, if we'd found a good reason to stay there, would have really paid off. We would have gotten a green rare. These farmers were late and available. So green-blue lane was definitely... open, but we got too much good black and got pivoted into the black deck. Effectively, though, I like this deck, so I don't think we're playing any of this. Oh, I guess I'll throw that on the board. And consider at the end here is a nice tail end, especially as, like, look, actually we're low on playables, but I cut some. We can bring some of this stuff in. So no worries. We're not actually low on playables. We're low on playables I love. Here's another No Way Out. We'll throw it in the board right now, and we'll consider how to fill out this deck. That's mean, Media. I've actually been pretty good on my remembering these days. I really missed like one larder activation out of like the 200 I've done in the format so far. I think my batting average is excellent, sir. Some filler, but you know, I made a lot of cuts that are fine to bring back in. So it's filler, yes, but not terrible filler. And our current situation is a 10-10. I know we're making some creatures here, but let's bring in a spirit. Do you want to try this procession? I'm on Reunion because of the Awakener, but this is a it at least gets a single. I'm not going to call it strikeout home run, but when you're not if you're not nabbing real full card value out of their yard or getting real full card value out of the zombie tokens, it's not a real card. It's not a full card. Yes, that's a nice play that Tron is referencing. Champ of the Perished producing instant speed tokens, even 2 of them. It's like a +2/+2 to Champ permanently at instant speed. Yep. And yes, the double Lord is a factor as well, for sure. To that end, we could play another No Way Out over the Behemoth. We already have a couple of 5s. I don't necessarily want... I mean, boy, if they can't answer this... I've won some games with a 7/6 they didn't answer, but the format just has so many answers, it doesn't feel like the power play. We got to be a little more subtle, Collie. How about cranberry sauce? It's pretty bad, but it's about jobs, right? If you don't have the closer and you need something to try and say, hey, we found this late, here it is, you can do worse, but it's not a priority at all. I like the flyer. I like also the ability to flash this in and ambush something. Behemoth is already cut. We're not bringing it in is the thing. The question is, what are we bringing in? And I'm kind of on second No Way Out and just doing that whole thing where it's almost like I want 0 or 2 No Ways Out is kind of how I'm thinking about this. Especially with my gems. What do you mean? Why does it have crazy potential in this deck? Eaten Alive does it. Awakener does it. What else does the thing that makes it so potential ridden? Double Wrangler? I don't know what you mean. I got 1 Wrangler. Oh, you mean double Scob? Yeah, maybe just because of the Scobs. I mean, everybody seems to be really focused on trying to make these Scobs home runs, I guess. How about Lord Cranberry? Rob was on exactly 1. Well, there you go. We got all the bases covered between us. All right, tell you what. Let's do 1 No Way Out and 1 Procession and see how it goes. But I feel like our low end has some air. I'm a little worried that if we draw too much of our low end, we're like, look at all the air. Here, Oppo, here's some air. What do you got? Oh, a thing? Uh-oh, I got more air. But we'll see. I will play both wilds. It slows down the deck a little bit, but man, the mana consistency is worth it to me. Well, Eaten Alive exiles, but to play it on the cheap, you need to sacrifice. So Eaten Alive, while it says exile, does do the triggering thing. But I'm with you, Alberta. I'm not really on the procession. I'm throwing it in because a lot of chat is on it, and we're going to do some science. Let's land a procession and see how it does. Because the double Scob has been a big point for the pro-procession crowd, that 4/2 decay tokens are a lot better. Not that we're going to get both Scobs every game and they live every game, but that potential, even a 3/2, right, is pretty big deal. So let's see, there's some, let's look at what people would do if they weren't doing this. And it's like some people would rather have a second No Way Out over the procession. I was suggesting that. Now I'm hearing the 7/6 over procession. So whatever, if you're not on the team procession, ask yourself what you'd throw in instead, so that when we experience that, we can ask ourselves in that spot what one we would rather have had. It's just data points. It doesn't definitively solve anything, but I do like doing it. Got a lot of ones in both colors. Kind of funny that way. But 3 blue, and these aren't really ones. You can throw this here to be more reflective. Yeah, 3 of each. It's funny. But Rotten Reunion, we're not probably going to want to do on 1. So I do like leaning slightly blue here. But the fact that we have so many 1-drops is kind of funny and kind of good. I like that. We shall call you Lord Cranberry. Picking Scobs is a good deck name. I like that. Too many words, but Picking Scobs is great. +1 on that. But I'm going to go with the deck name we've got and get this show on the road. What do you think for our average win rate here? Yeah, we could probably cut a land, especially with the double consider. All right, I like this. We get to go Awakener into Larder into Sack Larder. Hello, new plan. Although now it maybe puts us off of Awakener on 3. Actually, I can do... Let's do this. Let's go Awakener now. And then next turn, we can see if we draw a land or not. If we draw a land, we have a very clean land champ larder. Island champ larder, because then we can play the other land and know that we can flip Awakener on 3. Oh, sorry, let's get out of there. Here you go. Boom. So we didn't draw a land. I'm gonna go champ. It's okay. We might have a land on top. B, we can also fall back on Scob next turn anyway as a very fine turn 3 play. Guaranteed Larder Scob, also super interesting. Yeah, that's fair, Mike. Good line from Mike. This one's a little riskier, but also we get Larder activation, so we're pretty darn likely to find a basic. I mean, we double our chances at the very least. Yeah, that's true. I should have been attacking with the champ, but I was somewhat hedging around how we were going to unfold this hand. So I took a damage risk to give myself some options after turn 1, but you might be right. Maybe I should be attacking with a champ right now. I should have attacked, though, because Blade Brand's a thing. We'll decline that and take it. Yeah, I'll decline that so that I can take it. That's what that means. Because I'm going to do this. Maybe I'm married to the Awakener on turn 3 plan, but they either tap down the Awakener here and we play a Scob, or they let the Awakener go through and we flip it. Ah, well. Media thinks I'm terrible. What else is new? No coffee. Cool, we get to draw a card, play a scob. God, I'm about ready to turn off chat. Can you go into emote only mode, Pat? I'm seriously, please. Not feeling it this morning. Don't need it. Give me 5 minutes of nobody talking. I mean, I get people nitpicking my play all day, every day. Some days it just feels better than others. Right now, I'm not feeling it. Procession and Evolving Wilds over Stormrider Spirit. I do want to get some lands out of our deck so we stop drawing them, and Evolving Wilds helps with that, but Stormrider Spirit out of nowhere is going to be better here. Come on, just send in that Trapper. No big deal. All right. Woof. Too much land.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Not going to offer the trade of the champ. We're going to try and grow it. So no attacks here. But we'll procession. Well, I don't know about this card. I don't know. When it does the draw card thing, it's pretty hard to deny that you might, cycling to draw a card. But boy, even you never pay 2 to just draw a card. So they paid, I mean, really they got a bad common out of that, right? Like the gain some life, draw a card. Let's crack another Wilds. Now they're just letting an attack happen. What does that mean? Because why not Trapper, right? Why not Trapper? Let's look at our tricks here because that's very sus. And I want to understand what they're up to. So we've got 3 mana, white and black, and they've chosen not to tap. That means it has to at least be 2 mana, so it's not Blessed Defiance. Is it Flare of Faith? Blade Brand, Midnight Ambush, Commando, or Infernal Grasp. There's a Mythic, could be. Feels like Flare of Faith. And we don't have a great answer, although Geist Wave kind of undoes it. I think I'm going to send only the Spirit. I don't trust what's going on down there. And I don't know if I'm supposed to cycle the Geist Wave to look for another play this turn. I guess we have also, well, yeah, I'm going to hold up the Geist Wave in case they go to remove something of ours and we can draw a card to save it. I was saying cycle because I was thinking it was... I was acting like this was Startle. Sorry, I had Startle in my head, not Geist Wave. Same mana and instant speed. Geist Wave is not Startle, so we'll pass and use it accordingly. Might have been able... And maybe I had an attack. I didn't feel like I had an attack with Startle. But with Geist Wave, if I was worried about the flare, I did. But honestly, I just mixed up my spells here and was I was assessing that combat as though I had Startle and not Geist Wave. And they didn't even tap something with Trapper. So they didn't want to go shields down, or they just... I mean, this is a Platinum player. I'm just wondering at what they would be holding up Trapper at the end there for, unless they just messed up. Like, maybe they just missed it, but... Yeah, Defenestrate, sorry, I didn't see... Where was that? Oh, maybe I didn't make it to the 3s yet. That was my problem. I'd only made it as far as the 2s. Yeah, and that's a play we can consider even, the drawing and growing the champ. But I probably would rather just have Geist Wave to bust up a double block. Nah, I was just a little sensitive today. I mean, look, Media, we're here to talk about lines. I don't want my decision there to silence everybody for a second to make it seem like you don't have permission to criticize my plays or tell me what the alternate lines are. We're absolutely here to do that and get better. For whatever reason today, I was just feeling a little sensitive and just wanted it off for a second. But please continue. We are here to break down plays and get better, and to do that we need to question what I'm doing, and I can handle it, don't worry. I just needed a little bit of I think Untapped GG is on. Is it working for others? Yeah, so Procession has done nothing so far because it's been tough to find things to die so far. I'm going to go with a Consider here. And we're certainly going to take that action. Flip the switch gets us a zombie if they try anything, even if they can pay, so that's good to know. So does that mean we have attacks? Because now we have, or we could even do the Scob thing and grow it. But I like the 4/3 Geist Wave, a blocker. I mean, they have to put a lot on. So let's see. How do we get punished if they block? Yeah, we can move and see if they tap. That's a good point, Mike. It might make everything moot. They certainly have a ton of mana now. All right, so now, but that's the tap we expected. And so now, what blocks I think we do it. I think I'm going to send in, because they have to put some, they'll probably just try and 1-for-1 trade. Well, I guess they 1-for-1 trade there. And yeah, and then we send, but one problem is we don't have a way to, unless we counter our own Geist Wave, we can't really guarantee that this becomes a 5/4. Right? I mean, it stops any trick, but what if they just block and do nothing? Then what? What if they 1-for-1 block Silversmith on Champ? Are we okay with that? I don't think we are, so I think we have to say pass. Then we get a 3/2. That's true, but we lose, I think, a card that can really be an ongoing force in this game if we give it a chance to. But they don't even need to block with a token, is my point. They go Silversmith on Champ, and then we're just trading. Like, we're literally just trading at that point. So I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Neither is Geist Waving now. Angler, charging in and saying, I don't care what you do. is I just need him to do something so we can flip the switch. I'm going to go Angler and hold up our spells again. But I'm kind of at the point where I might Geist Wave my own Scob at end of turn if we don't see something better. I mean, we can try and be patient, but we are getting sieged now for 2 a turn. We can't just sit here and get clocked by siege zombies. All right, I'll save it. Let's try. Why not? I don't know. My inclination is to save things and draw a card. Even though that wasn't like mission critical thing, it just felt like Value Town. Yeah, we're between the siege zombies and the veteran, we're now in a real tough spot, even though it looks like a fairly even game. It's not really. They know about the flip, that's why they've been doing it the way they've been doing it, but I'm going to let this resolve. At least if they keep playing around it, they're keeping themselves on 4 mana instead of 8, but we are up against it here now. Although not 4 mana when some of it gets to use as activation, which is irrelevant unless I cast the flip to make them be unable to trap. Well, because now they have a commando out. But I guess it would give us... I guess playing it out would at least give us the 1. So I'll say no attacks here anyway. And we'll play it out now. Well... The thing with siege zombies is the second and third ones are just 2/2s. They do literally nothing except be grizzly bears, except for ensure that nothing we do is going to keep them without a siege zombie on board. Yes, yes, but I decided that it was a mistake not to play the procession enough to hold off a turn to send in the angler and get a token out of it. Because keep in mind, I mean, okay, maybe they just start taking this and I missed out on 2 damage again or something, but I thought, given that the plan is just to have it die anyway, it's never actually going to do the damage. It's just going to make us a token and fly. It can do it this turn just as well. Flooding a bit at a time where it's not going to help, and I think Steve here, our opponent, is on track to win this game. We're way too behind on the zombies, and the veteran is not going to let us get there on life. Yeah, it's true. Of the 15 cards left in our deck, let's see. We've got 2 lands left in 15 cards. So we've definitely flooded out this game as well. But in a sense, I signed up for it too with some of my choices, so there you go. Now they can go ahead and use their commando to get the procession again, because we've already gotten the card we're going to get, or the zombie that we're going to get here. But really, this is one of those spots in Magic where I don't really see an out in our library. I don't see what thing we're drawing to unlock this board enough to win. So we're kind of just playing Magic spells until we lose. I can't quite say we're 0%. What does Eaten Alive do for us? Okay, we get Eaten Alive, then what? Then we get the Trapper, and then they're still going to outpace us on zombie activations and Veteran. That's my problem. Yeah, maybe we can Trapper in kill Trapper in time for these to matter, and surely, like, we need to revenge at the end of their next turn and surprise them with their lack of Tapper. And we can actually make the champ big here, but now we're also at the place where if we start attacking, we lose to a crackback. They're very wide over here. We might just be dead next turn. More land. Look at that, Oppo. More land. But we do have a couple of sudden champ increases here. But to what end, Mike? I don't even know what we're doing. We send champ, and what happens to help us win the game? They take it and or chump with any number of things, and then... All right, Mike is like, well, the legal useless play I want you to make is attack with your champ, and the legal useless play I want to make is stay back. Which legal useless play should we do to lose this game? I don't know, Mike. I don't know. Sure, I'll take Mike's line, then I can blame it on him. That is totally fair. It's more of an opportunity for a mistake. That being said, I think this is all ways we choose to lose. And we'll bounce the zombie and kill the silversmith, get exactly what we were hoping for, right? This is exactly... Well, you can bounce a tapper. Yeah, let's bounce tapper. Sure. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. Though, let me look at the battlefield. Because we're at 6-5... We can go revenge to get to 7-6, and then it lives. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. It's too bad we couldn't do this on their turn and send the Trapper away for an extra turn. We got the block we were hoping for, but this is the part where it still is moot and that their board position is so powerful we're still dead. But I agree, Mike and War Furnace, that if we're not 100% sure that we're 0%, that's the right play. If we're 100% sure we're 0%, we should just scoop. And if we're not 100% sure, we should try to give a chance for opponent to make mistakes. And I guess you can never really be 100% sure to lose when there's another human involved because we don't understand what Steve is going to do. We can't predict everything, and that's why Mike was on give our opponent a chance to make mistakes. If we somehow come back and win this, wow. I mean, we're getting pretty wide. We just don't quite have any kind of crackback. And the continued sieging is just really rough. And yeah, they can pay. I'm now going to make them pay to pump the champ and to prevent their ability to successfully crawl. You'd hold to what end, Tron? What are we doing with that? Like, I kind of feel like we just need to get another zombie down, get our champ bigger, and get as wide a board as we can to try for an alpha before we're dead. And because they would have a follow-up play of crawl, I mean, they've shown that they're playing around this. They literally know we have this. Let them crawl and flip the crawl. I mean, but they have yet to not play around the flip. Yeah, maybe the size of the champ doesn't matter in the face of the zombie, but another decay zombie that's 3/2 could matter, especially if we find another lord and make them 4/2s. If we do this, they pay 4 and they have 3 left and they can't send it back. Yeah, I'm doing it. Simply because they've played around this all game. They know we have this. They've played around it all game. And when your opponent has shown the discipline to play around a spell like this all game, I'm going to tip the cap and try to get some value out of it. And at least in this case, I can see how it creates value that could help us find a way to win this dang game. I still feel very hopeless, not feeling the hope. Found one of our final 2 lands in the deck out of the 13 cards. That's the way this is going.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
But Trapper is summoning sick. Do we have a big attack here? So I think we leave the 9/8 back, but we can send all the token zombies and the flyers. And then we have 2 blockers, 11 life. If they take it all, they're like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They could take it all and not be dead. So then we go 10, 9 on the zombies. They swing away with everything. We block their 2 biggest, which is this zombie and a 2/2, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. All right, so that doesn't leave us dead. Oh, I miscounted. Okay, well, in any case, even if I had counted correctly, I think I only counted 4 zombies. Yeah, I was looking at the image instead of the number. So now they have force blocks, which extra leaves us live on the defense. So let's make him do it. Thank you for the follow, Uncle. Glad you're here. Yeah, everybody go take a bio break. We've got some decay animations to get through. You have a few. Boy, if I'm your nephew, I hope you're... How are you doing in your old age, sir? How are your senior years treating you? Although uncle-nephew ages, you know, niece-nephew, aunt-uncle ages can get weird. I did one of those kind of what part of the country are you from language type quizzes. They're really interesting in terms of what they reveal about your own personal linguistic weirdnesses. And one of the ones I discovered is I'm in the camp where I talk about uncles and aunts, like this is how you get aunts. I have many uncles and aunts, but if I tell my daughter Clara to contact her Aunt Kathy, I say aunt. Why is that? Why is my language brain so weird? A single individual known actual person is aunt to me, and but the collectives are aunts. I don't know why, but I'm clearly not alone because it was one of the options on the quiz. It was like, do you say aunt in reference to an individual and aunt in references to the group? And I'm like, holy shit, I do. I don't know why. I guess because I'm from the Pacific Northwest or whatever. It's the regional dialect thing in English. Well, there's only one land left. I mean, I wouldn't put it past my deck to deliver it to us, but we do only have literally one land left. Can we even send flying? I guess we do. This is how we win, right? We somehow get drift our way to victory. I'm still not seeing it, but I don't know what else we do. Yeah, tapping tapper, no joke. But boy, these zombies with the veteran life pumps. Whew. They're at 5. Maybe we can, I don't know, we have anything that pumps power somehow? Not in these colors. Oh, Ska, but none of our things are zombies. Nothing in the air is a zombie. So yeah, I don't see any ways to win, to get 5 in the air next turn. Also, it's going to be 6 here. But we're just looking. This is game 1. Holy hell. It's just been grindy. I've been playing a little slow too, as usual, but wow. All right, we just got to pass. Interesting. Suppose we have to take that. I don't think I like trading there. Really? Why? Ooh, that's nice. That could be it. Yeah, maybe I should have, because now we have the intruder to do the tapping thing, but like I wanted to get in with my flyers, and intruder really just helps a ton. Yeah, force block there. Do we? I just don't want to lose on a crackback. Let's see. So if you think we should do that, we could. Intruder effectively nullifies 2 things, right? You would hold it back. Yeah, I like what Tron's observing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send my flyers only. I'm going to show him this. See, we just drew more land, Steve. Yeah, I'm really just trying to entice them to go for it with the intruder solving 2 creatures, basically. Okay, so now we got to think. They're going to tap that. We could wrangle away the 4/4. Then they're sending 3... So I think we tap in response here, although maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. We're just trying to play intruder and get there, right? We're just chumping and trying to win on a crackback in the air. Well, here I was talking about 0%, and now we're on the verge of flipping this into a win. War Furnace and Mike were the 2 who were like, stop pretending this is over and actually try and do something to win this game, Ryan, and now we might. We could tap using Intruder, but it still takes away all these blocks. Like, we still just want to chump a bunch here. Let's see. Do we just straight reduce? Yeah, we just take a 2 and make it 0, so that can go through, and then we block, block, block. So we block here. We block here. Then we are looking at taking 4 and keeping multiple lethal flyers against nothing. Oh, that's too much, though. We need to block one more. That's not 4. That's now 4. No, wait. No, that was 4. I just don't want to lose because I count wrong here. Blocked. 0, 0, 1, 4. Blocked. The only card they have is this. It doesn't do anything for them. So this is fine, right? I mean, we could, like, again, I don't see any way they win here, right? We could. This is all fine. No, I'm not, like, look, it's all face up, gang. It's face up. Woo! Come on. I was close to scooping that one up. Thanks, Mike. Mike kept me in line. Don't give up, Ryan. If it's 0%, why aren't you scooping? And if it's not 0%, why aren't you trying to win? Right? Oppo first. Almost. If you show me like the swamp on top, I might keep this, but we got a mole. And then similarly here, we got a keep and probably just pitch a Geist Wave. Wanted to pitch a blue card, but Zombie could be a sack for the Eaten Alive if desperate. I don't know how to use that scaled, but I hear what you mean. You're just identifying that streaming can be a mixed bag. Let's just... I could hold up Midnight Ambush, but Larder Zombie's fine. Get our No Way Out on. Get our token count up. Start zombieing or eating things alive. Oh man, having to sit through stuff that's not relevant to you at work is like the worst part of work. What are our options here? Really, it's No Way Out or Ambush and try to No Way Out for their last couple of cards. Yeah, that's Mike's identifying it too. I'm on Ambush, yeah. I think we try to get their last 2. Yeah, we could get 2 of their 4 and that would be fine. But I doubt we're getting their last 2. Honestly, they probably go to 5, play a land to go to 4, and probably play 1 4-drop to go to 3. If they play a land and 2 spell next turn, then we would get their last cards. But even getting whittled down to even 3 would be better than this. And so I'm willing to Midnight with shields down and try to get a little more value out of our No Way Out. Yeah, possibly next turn we No Way Out, Eaten Alive one of their plays as well. Yeah, and 2 of their last 3 on turn 4 is better than 3 of their last 4 on turn 3. And there's something we could eat alive. I mean, but the thing is that both of those things happened, Rollock. Yeah, they're out of land, so getting 2 spells here also good. Well, here, we've got a random number. All right. Let's see how helpful chat was. I'm going to divide the result by 2. The answer is 2. Wow, Rolo, thank you so much. Making it rain subs. Let me change that answer. Hey, look, nat 20. The answer is 10. Are we killing this now? We can just wait a turn and kill it without giving up a zombie. But I like Storm Rider Spirit next turn, so I am going to go ahead and eat this thing alive. Before I run out of time and embarrassingly pass my turn due to clock. Ooh, flip is interesting. Since this has flash, we get to decide whether we want to flash in a Storm Rider Spirit or flip a switch. And obviously with Oppo stuck on 3, flip's gonna get something. But also because of that, flip will get something if we don't cast it before we untap, right? We can cast the spirit and get the next thing too. Now, do we care enough about that to snap it off? I think with our current defenses, yes, we snap that off. Storm Rider Spirit can't even block and kill this thing. Some more action would have been nice, but flashing in a Storm Rider Spirit and trying to get a win off of that with them down to 1 card seems fine. But it's somewhat, we're in top decking war right now. If this is a land and nothing else changes, we win this game, but not counting on that. Yeah, we'll flash it in and larder. That'll be nice. Start getting some larder value. Yeah, that's true. Sorry, we do know it's not land with how Oppo has been struggling. But maybe they go for an attack here? I don't know. Like, well, we could spirit and block. Do we want that trade? I think we just want to try and race that. But maybe let, well, I can't larder and then choose whether or not to block. So I'm just going to take it, and then we'll spirit at end of turn. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, they have nothing else to do, so we'll just do this. Oppo pausing because they can zombie tap, but I think they just don't realize that. I do that all the time. Horde will do. Thank you. Well, perfect scry would have been land or something with graveyard value in to naturally draw the Horde, but I'm happy to see this on top for sure. Let's see. Black tends to get creatures, not spells, so let's get rid of their best graveyard creatures. Yeah, you want to check our draw before with the zombies? That's fair. It is the philosophical question of the set. And the answer is, I just don't know. It's action. We'll keep it. I wish I could draw it and save the Horde, but we can't. Do I actually want it? What am I doing with it? I can reset a zombie. I just don't want to draw a land and have nothing. I'll keep it. We can at least self-cast and draw. You know, it cycles at worst, so I'm going to keep it. Yeah, we can get a counter off the zombie. It's not super exciting, though, to do that, honestly. But
not only am I your ship's captain, I am also your party captain! Woo! We're gonna get it going here in just a few minutes.
I'm your party
if I'm going to draw it, we don't need to do the upkeep now. Yeah, maybe we chunk bounce the zombie. Getting it token off it isn't the worst because then the zombie can just block it. That was one thing observed. Can we even race anymore? No. So slipping away here as well, but not giving up. As we see, you don't want to do that. Lots of ways to win Magic games you think you can't. But I do think we are on... the extra behind them in the buffet line just kill... Oh, you're talking... It was like, I thought you were talking about this game. You know, you're on something else. I'm going to say no attacks. If nothing else, I'm just holding off these. Do you like a trade block on the zombie? Do we offer spirit for zombie and then chump bounce off the silversmith? Let's see what they do on attacks at least. They're swinging away. Okay, makes sense with us at 7. So then we are going to try to get some... I think we need to try and eat. We do this, we take 5, and then we can either wave if we're desperate or wave to draw. Don't worry, we'll get that in. Don't worry, we got it. We do that after blocks, though. Good morning, Arstall. Welcome. I think this is right, though. The only other thing to do would be to try and eat the zombie, but again, I think we need the spirit for blocks again next turn. All right, they're going for that. We're gonna have to blow that out then, but let's start actually with the zombie larder and take that action. Yeah, well, not dying seems correct, so we'll throw this occultist back up in the air, or back up to hand. Could have also, I suppose, done it through bouncing the zombie to reset the counter, but it doesn't stop as much damage, right? Stops 3 instead of 4. But maybe that would have been worth it to reset the zombie. I'm not sure. Thanks, Rob. Here's where Rotten Reunion, you know, this is why I said it's like, it's not, sometimes it just does not live up to the full card status, and this is one of those spots. It's just not enough here to do anything for us, and we did. This I am going to scoop. I trust Oppo to attack. Well, after a really dramatic first game, that was just kind of roll over and lose.
Is this a dead man, Doctor?
Very dead, Mr. Spock.
Well, after that insane comeback in game 1, we can lose 2 more from here, and I'm not going to be too tilted. That was already pretty cool to have had the game that we had. But let's get some more. We'll keep, even though it's like 3 cards that were all on the list of things considering to cut, for, you know, so it's like 3 23rd cards and a solid scob, but mainly a nice mix of land and spells. Snarling Wolf, we're going to go with the Scob. It can attack. High risk, but I mean, we're leading with our best thing, but it's better than the Procession here. Yeah, and if Procession made a zombie on ATB, maybe I'd go with that, but it doesn't. And good old Threat of Activation. Now, do we Procession or No Way Out? We do want to get a Procession down eventually, and stuff might start dying eventually, so let's go ahead and Procession now. Yeah, double spell next turn is legit. It's just like Geist Wave is not a guaranteed play. If it were just some 2-drop creature, I'd be with you, but I'm not convinced we're going to cast Geist Wave next turn. Flash Wolf called, and correct. Didn't even think about it. We got a zombie at least. And it was a 1-for-1. But if I had thought about it, I wouldn't have attacked. Good call, Rob. And Tron, sorry. Both of you caught it. But, you know, it's like the NFL. It's the person who does it second that gets noticed in the NFL that's around fighting. Classic NFL is one guy pops another guy, the other guy retaliates, and the retaliator gets the flag. Yeah, maybe they missed the token can't block. That happens too. I don't know what Dirk is up to here. Well, we're playing a land, and then I guess we're No Way Outing. Not holding up Geist Wave here. Why would I do that? What do we get? Acceptable? Scary as heck that this is one of their we don't need it. What do you think this is? That's the question. Sorry. Agreed. Probably threat instead of answer. Might even not be that fancy one. Might have been this Liberator, right? But just like, on this board, I'd rather apply some pressure rather than O-ring my opponent's medium, at best, enchantment. Well, we got action now. All of it's at instant speed, so let's pass. We do flip the Liberator if we do that, but then we have Midnight Ambush as 13/13, so that's cool too. Although if we let this attack, they just take out the Procession for free. So maybe it's just fire off the ambush now, get the Liberator, and then have Geist Wave available. I'm going to do that. No reason to get fancy here when we should have a clean kill. Ooh, we can even wave this back. Let's do that. I need some more action anyway. I guess I could have thought about Eaten Alive and manually tapped. That's a leak of mine. Not thinking about what mana I want to have up if I draw something that I can cast. I do it a lot. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. I think about it a lot, but it is still a leak of mine that I don't think about it always. Here we have Eaten Alive, destined to sack a Castaway, but right now there's nothing I want to kill. So I'm just going to hold up Stormrider Spirit. Yeah, that's true. The leak, though, Sleepy, is not even considering it, to pun on consider. The leak is when I don't even stop to think about it at all. And at least say to myself, all right, so I could draw a spell in either color. Which one am I hoping for? And then, like, leave that up, right? No attacks. End the turn. Outlaw, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you liked the episode enough to come hang with us. We're somewhat telegraphing like a Stormrider Spirit. They know we have a Procession and we didn't replay it. That means that I have something for 5 or more mana that's at instant speed. Or 2 things that add up to that. And they're not going to be dumb enough to, even whether or not they see the zombies blocking or not, it's the lack of me casting a Ghoulish Procession that gives Oppo the information to not swing in here. I can't affect day-night on my opponent's turn. Oh, you're thinking they do? Speaking of the Consider, there it is. Let's now start with the Consider. Let's decline to... oh. Did I just hit take? I meant to hit decline. You heard me say it. It just misclicked. That's too bad. We'll still keep going. And now... yeah, I'll Procession in case they have kill. Well, I've been pretty good about those dialogues. That's like one of the first dialogue misclicks I've made in a while. Especially since, I said the right word. It's not like I got the words mixed up and then was like, oh, language, you thwarted me. I said the right word and clicked the wrong word, that's all. Yeah, in case they have flash blocker, we definitely want the Procession out. We're going to do that, see if they have it. Button naming is harder than you think. Character length, you don't have a lot of characters. End turn is 7 characters with a space, and look at how much button it takes up. You can make smaller button letters too, but you don't want to. You want nice, big, readable letters. I don't love that there's no value for us to eat alive, but we're going to be patient. They're green-white. They're not going to make us discard this. So this becomes a good eaten alive use now, as does the Castaway. They don't have Coven yet though, and we've used our Geist Wave. I'm not thinking we're going to use a Revenge of the Drowned on our own creature because it's still card disadvantage. We would really feel like we really needed that creature before we would do that. So I am going to Eaten Alive the Castaway, or I'm going to Eat Alive the Wolf, sacking the Castaway, so we can get that going right now. And I'm going to cast the Castaway before considering attacks. I'm going to hold, especially because we have a Scob to put back if we want to. I'm not sure we want to. What do we want here? Probably Midnight Ambush, Scob, and Flip would all be good draws. Yeah, I could have put in an Eat in as well. I just had the timer going down and kind of hastily did it, but Eat may be better than Flip. Flip at least like counters Join the Dance coming back in a way that's matters, and eating 1/1s doesn't. Speaking of Eaten Alive, that's what's going to happen to this Griff next turn. We're going to sack the Spirit. If we had ways to get the Spirit back, hey, just what we were thinking about. Now we get to go Scob, sack Spirit to get rid of Griff. And now, with 3 powered zombies and a pretty big board advantage, I'm willing to swing in. Yeah, Champ. Pour one out for the Champ. Let's just try to get the game anyway. I bet we don't take him to 2. I bet we just make him chump a bunch of 1/1s. But given that it's creatures that are very fragile on our side, that's cool. Fragile. Must be Italian. Another problematic intellectual property from the 80s that, if you can overlook the problematic aspects of it, is an all-time classic, A Christmas Story. I don't think he wrote the screenplay, but the guy whose story that's based on is one of the greatest storytellers of all time. And now I'm forgetting his name, darn it. I studied him in high school. Gene Shepard. Gene Shepard. I mean, this guy's an influencer of me. I've read a ton of Gene Shepard. I'm embarrassed that I forgot his name there for a second, but I was deep into him in high school, so it's been a while since he was kind of the top of my list. But his written and audio storytelling is insane. He did a radio show. He was a storyteller who was so much a born storyteller that it didn't matter who his audience was. There was great tales of, like, he would render these incredible radio shows and tell these incredible stories. Yes, I believe he was the narrator. I think that's true. And so and you can hear it, like, the narrator is great, right? I mean, he's got a great storytelling voice. He's telling his own story. It really comes through. And so then, I mean, if you like A Christmas Story, strongly go find some Gene Shepard archives, listen to some of his other stories, read some of his other stories. But the story about Gene Shepard I was going to get to is that, so he does this radio show, he tells stories all day long, and but it's all he wants to do, apparently, because, like, one of his colleagues noted like there was some page, some intern, a 18-year-old fresh-faced intern at the radio station, and Gene Shepard would have them cornered and be telling them a story that was as high quality as any of his radio broadcasts, right? So he's just, like, randomly talking, he'll tell a story to anybody. I don't know anybody like that. I don't know why I consider him an inspiration. Anyway, Gene Shepard. That's my recommendation for you today. If you like A Christmas Story, check out some of his other material. It's all great. Hey, look, while I was Gene Sheparding about Gene Shepard, we won a game of Magic. See you, Darther. Thanks for hanging. We are not 21-1. However, we did get another win. The end scene where they, after the turkey disaster, go to a Chinese restaurant is just short of painting the Asian actors with bus yellow paint. I mean, it's that final scene just makes me cringe badly now. Especially because they're making Japanese linguistic jokes about Chinese restaurant owners. This is a keep. Probably ambush the trapper. That thing's annoying. But let's see what else we draw. Heck, let's see what we can find to draw. Ooh, we'll keep that. Let's hit the right button, Ryan. We want to decline to put that in our graveyard. Now, where does that leave us for what to do here? We can full mana with the ambush. We can half mana with the awakener. If we awaken her now, next turn is probably no way out into trying to flip it later. But we can flip it later. I think let's just pass and see if we want to ambush the trapper or whatever else they play. And then we can see about next turn when it arrives. I mean, what do you mean by that though, Arcanite? Like, to say, I like the idea of holding media to the standards of the time they were created in. What is the end result of doing that? Does it mean you watch it and acknowledge? Because that's what I do. I mean, I am, like, I don't know what it means to hold them to the standards. I don't, it was an era where that kind of casual racism was fine in popular culture, and we can acknowledge that, but it doesn't make me fine with experiencing that scene at the end of the movie, right? So I'm not canceling A Christmas Story. I'm noting how its era did make some of it problematic, but that's okay too. So anyway, what are we killing here? Zombie is a legit potential. I mean, it's gonna mess up our Awakener without spending mana. At least this needs mana to work. Yeah, Breakfast at Tiffany's is just 10 times worse, but that's like from the 60s. Sorry, let's go here. Or I'm going to rope out. I'm going to go with my original plan and get rid of the annoying Trapper, I think. But I'm not sure. And actually, with No Way Out getting half their cards here, we get a token that we can sack to the Eaten Alive on the zombie anyway. And then it doesn't even get a backup zombie because it would be exiled. But I like No Way Out here, bottom line. Oppo a little flooded. They quickly ditched a couple lands and then played a fourth, no problem. And now we have Awakener Sack, which is a pretty great turn 4 here. And it's shields down as well. I think I'm just going to do that and do it now. No, Procession is in. We're split. We have one Procession, one No Way Out.
All things that I used to know have gone out the window.
All right. Well, we could revenge the drowned, like, one of them, and eaten alive the other. Like, revenging the zombie and then eating the Cathars seems okay. But not with that mana. Let's do it. Oh, we can't eat at instant speed. So we do get them a zombie draw next turn if they want it, instead of doing it in their upkeep, but I am going to do it so we can eat alive this turn. Well, maybe so. Has it been all black-white all day long? I kind of haven't been paying attention, but now that you mention it, that sounds correctish. Yeah, we are happy if they draw a 2-2, but even better if we make it, you know, 2 down, I guess. Or just put it off, but that's fine. Yep. Wave flip, I didn't mention that, but wave counterspell. Bounce and counterspell, a tale as old as time. Send it back to their hand and then counter it on the way back down. To that end, we could just wave it right now and avoid the damage, but I'm willing to take 3 to see what else they've got here. Because we may just want to flip whatever they come up with here. And for 2 points of damage, I would like that choice. I am using my life total as a resource to give me options. All right, they're not doing anything. Now I like untapping and just seeing if we find some natural ways to play out of this and continue to hold these cards. Yeah, you like conserve mana. I get it. That's why I paused, Mike, but I'm perfectly fine with this now, too. We get Horde and Hold Up Wave. Can even block with Horde, Geist Wave it, and replay Horde. If we draw a land, we can even replay Horde with Flip Up. Right on, Arstall. Hey, good attitude. When I'm my best self, I'm ready to lose. We could bounce the token here and give them no great options on what to sacrifice. We can bounce the Awakener as it sacrifices. They get the card, but the Awakener then gets reset and is off the board. So bouncing our Horde still better, says Mike. I agree. Let's do that. if they attack. I mean, we're at 8. I kind of expect them to send the zombie here and be like, fine. Although that's interesting too. We could just straight up eat. Well, if we block here, they're going to go for the flip anyway. So let's just block Horde and do the plan. Yeah, Blade Brand's a thing, but it sure looks like they're just trying to awaken her here. So we do this, and then have to decide whether we are angling or flipping. Probably angling to get some extra, got extra blockers. And one that we're happy to trade off, too, especially for that outlaw. So let's drop this. Yeah, it just looks like we have to. I like Angler because I like not dying, says Mathcore. So, Angler on the hobbles. We can let this go and go to 1 by blocking here. And then it gives us a chance to find a creature, cast the Drifter, cast the creature on top of our library, and have blocks for the remaining attackers here. And of course, Oppo's on land, right? So we're going to accept going to 1 because it at least gives us a plan. It's not a great one, and I'm expecting to lose this game now, but we have a plan. Ooh, that's rough. And even rougher is drawing an Evolving Wilds. It's not going to save us. So I can play the flyer to stop that. I can put the Horde on here, but they have easy attacks for the rest. I'm going to give them credit for finding the attack button here and scoop it up. Two and 2. Let's get to 3 wins with this deck. It's a good deck. Maybe it's missing an Organ Hoarder 4, but it's a good deck. Yeah, I don't know what the update contains. I don't know if anybody's read the notes or anything. Hey, this looks great. Perfecto. Awakener into Castaway into 4/4. Draw a card and a 3/4 flyer for 5. I like it. Is it just Crimson Vow, or did they note any bug fixes, or do they not even do that anymore? Going with our client itself has gameplay. You can't beat that. What's up, Creighton? When you say new event, is that just Crimson Vow stuff, or is there specifically a new kind of event coming to the system? Edge of Night. I don't know what that is. Is it a just one of those temporary formats? What are the restrictions? What is different about it? Creighton's making me look like a speedrunner. But I certainly do not have much capital on other people playing slowly. I mention it, but I'm not in any way mad. I have no legs to stand on in that fight. Brawl without the commander. Brawl without the commander. So just standard singleton, basically? That's what I'm hearing. 25 life standard singleton? Or just standard single? I don't know. I'll check it out, though. I like Brawl. I like... Paper Commander with, like, 3, especially 4+ players kind of breaks my brain in a way that I stop having fun with. I have trouble letting go in Commander. If I could just let go and not care, it would be a lot easier for me, I think. Okay, so standard singleton with a day-night twist. Yeah, it should be. I'm too spiky about Magic, and because I can't. I mean, I have trouble enough managing all of the possibilities that exist on a 2-player board, and I do my best to keep them all in my head. And on a 3+ player commander board, it starts to become impossible, and I drift away from the game. There's just too much going on. It's like, well, now it's just silly. Just tell me if I'm dead or not. I barely want to pay attention. Just tell me when I'm dead. All right. A lot of options here. Oppo on ambush mana, counterspell mana. Let's start just with the land attack. Well, hey, that's the thing, Mike. I think you've got my attitude, which is wrong. Like, how you measure yourself in Commander is whether or not the people want to play with you again, right? And that's where but I have trouble disconnecting from the goals of the experience. I mean, when I play tabletop board games for no stakes, I'm trying to win. So it's perfectly fine for tabletop Commander with no stakes to have the goal of winning. But I truly think Commander, more than anything, is about style points, and I can't believe you did that, and holy crap, this game is amazing, as opposed to actually, wow, you're very good at this game. Look at how much you win Commander, right? Nobody's like, wow, you win Commander a lot. And if they are, they're probably like, so can you stop playing with us? Your decks are too good. All right, sorry. So let's get back here before I time out of this one. Angler... Consider? Or no, their hand is too big for the no way out. So yeah, I'm going to go Angler, hold up, Consider. Yeah, my buddy Nick Davidson, who's been around the stream here and there, and really got the Arena project off the ground at Wizards. He comes to, if you ever get a chance to play Commander with him, he role plays his Commander during a game of Commander, you know? So like you can really get into it for the funsies. Flip the switch, still good. Oppo going big spells. We're going to keep that. I could go Wrangler here. I think I just like Castaway. We could even potentially offer I could also eat alive the 4/4 and have You just like, yeah, we could also just eat alive at full price on the token. That's interesting, Mike. I was trying to get my Castaway going, but your line is more damage faster, so let's do that. Hey, Garrett. Thanks for that feedback. Glad you enjoyed it. Sure felt like old times. I had a blast. Siriana says, also in Commander, it's fun to, and then insert political gameplay here. And that's a very controversial point. Is political gameplay fun? For some, undeniably. Let's get their last two cards and hold up and drop the Wrangler, or maybe just the Angler. Angler or Wrangler? Wrangler, we could hide from them a little more, although Wrangler we play right now, we've got taps, especially if they flip their... Yeah, this flies. This taps. Let's start here, see what they ditch. Clear shot down. All right, yeah, let's go Angler. Well, let's start with an attack. They don't have good blocks here, so start there. And given that I want to attack, that's why I should play the Angler, because now I no longer have Wrangler taps anyway. And I only want to be tapping on offense at this point. I also owe you this. Splash and red. Let's punish this splash. Oh, they milled their mountain. Hopefully that's their only red source, and this is a red card. Ooh, Zombie Lord. Hold up, flip. But send in, hold up, flip, and Intruder. Like, let's scob it, and then Intruder just blows out a double block. I like scob now, send, including like everything, and then flip or intrude, flip, scob, or intrude based on their choices here. But that's the choice I expected, and I think this probably gets a scoop. Ooh, no, I haven't. I want to, it's news to me too, Hat. Pitch it, G-Guards, give us a link. Mystical Dispute, nice name. You know I like a good name. Zach was fired as co-host. Please tell me that story.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Very cool. How do you plan for it? Do you come up with a controversial card and do it debate club style, where it's like, okay, Garrett, you're taking the awesome side and I'm taking the terrible side? Or do you actually find cards in which you have natural disagreements to disagree about? Oh, no, so I should go to 3, thank you. I started to do that and then got distracted by hearing about new content from Garrett. This is a keep, Ob. Castaway Eaton, so good. I almost don't like playing the swamp because I don't plan on reunioning anything, so I'm going to open on island so that we don't telegraph. But then one of you has to play the community side, right? Limited resources was, well, I don't know if you mean, I mean, the other, well, the answer is both. The podcast I created was limited resources, and it is also the podcast I was on last week. Castaway to set up the Eaten Alive, or just Scob here. I'm going to go Scob. Although they might just stay back and threaten pumps on D, but okay. What? What do you mean, finish the dishes before you finish the pod, Pablo? Have I taught you nothing? You finish the pod while you do the dishes. Some days you just feel like you're not getting through to anybody. So, back to this here turn. I'm debating whether I cast away, snack on a wolf. We don't really have... I don't think I snack on the wolf yet. I'm going to just play Evolving Wilds and Castaway is my new plan. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was overly critical then. Ooh, nice. Should have thought about that, I guess. Still a 1-for-1, but they get the better end of this trade in terms of value to our respective decks. I still like where we're at, though. This is a nice sequence. Hopefully, Weenie here plays something nice and juicy to eat alive, and then the turn after we get to make a big flyer. Yeah, it's fine, but you know, like Garrett, if we knew 100% they had the commando, are you attacking there? I don't think I'm... It's fine, but I wouldn't accept it if I had face-up hands. It's not the worst. That's kind of cool. And we're going to go ahead and do this, and let's go ahead and eat the Admirer so that we can fly next turn. I could have attacked. Maybe they don't block. Like little edges. In some tiny percent of the cases, they let us get one in, and I should have tried. Hey, it's our backup Lord. But I'm going to stick to the plan. Oh, man, that's a lot of zombies here. Yeah, we can attack here. The reunion gives us a pump to get a 2-for-1 effectively. We do lose the champ if they go for the double block. but not if they go for a single block, we don't lose the champ, but we commit to the reunion play. The Lord only makes it a... I guess this does make... Yeah. Okay, we can do the Lord first. You're right. But then we lose the play of Castaway. Yeah, if we could do all five, that would be amazing, to go Scab, Reunion, but we can't do that. I'm going to attack... I really want to play the Castaway here. I'm going to send... And if we use Reunion twice, we get to 3/3. Because they think they could eat a Perished or just 1-for-1. Like, they might just 1-for-1 block the Wolf. I'll do it. I think if they double block, it's not quite the turn I was hoping to have, but it's not a bad one. If they double block, though, it's a trade. That's all. But it would be still 2-for-1, so I'm okay with that. 2-for-1 if you count the 2 tokens made by our card as a card. I'll take all of this, given the current game state. You say never, Rob. Maybe because they're diamond, but if this were best of 3 round 1, I would never say never about that. I could absolutely see someone even thinking it through and saying, well, they might have something, but I want to draw the trick out, right? Swamp off the top gives us the triple. Well, we got a swamp later. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but we do this first. Because I don't trust him? Because I don't want to lose the 3/4? I don't know, maybe Mike's just like, yeah, I'm going to throw my 3/4 in front of their 3/3, and they're never going to do anything to punish me for that. I was like, I assume they're going to punish the hell out of me, and I'm going to not block. I didn't put him on anything specific. I just put him on, it could be, green, it's green-white. It's any number of pump spells, right? It was just arbitrary pump in my head. Well, if it's Air Bud, yeah, I guess it's still a trade there. We can play around Air Bud given the importance of Champ and given the fact that they didn't spend anything from their hand or pump. So why did they not pump? Why did they not cast anything second main? Air Bud is only a 3/2, so the Castigator gets through, but the Champ would be traded for even as a 4/3, so we don't want to do that. Oops, almost double-clicked there. Wolf Enchantment. If they've got the Wolf Enchantment, are we unhappy with the result? They untap. I guess they eat. What, you want to do nothing? The enchantment doesn't give reach, right? Yeah, they can't block. Never mind. I was thinking, suddenly I was worried. Okay, so maybe it is that, but we're definitely leaving the champ back. I'm glad at least they can't leap up and howl at our Castigator. All right. And now we've got instant speed 4/3. And let's see what they want to do here. Are they going to not spend their mana? Looks like not. So, Pestilent Wolf can get Death Touch and kill no matter what. We could just take it again. All right, we'll take it. It feels like the 3 mana enchantment, and they're continuing to not. But why wouldn't they spend 2 to pump? What else are they doing? That's the part I don't get. If our read is correct, why not pump for 2 and then have Wolf and Howl enchantment up? Anyway, we'll pass. All right, now they're doing that. And do we reunion here and show our situation, or do we save the double reunion trick? I'm going to save the double reunion trick. It still leaves us with 3 mana. We might still be able to play something for 3 mana. Or we draw land anyway. The only reason to do it is that we draw a spell that's 4 mana and want to be able to cast 2 spells. Yeah, we can flip the wolf, and at 9, yeah, now let's stay back. Boo earns. But if we flip the wolf, we telegraph everything. I don't think we do that. Probably gonna have to take the wolf. Although, boy, it starts to get the pump too. Boy, we're up against it now. Up against it now. Yeah, you might be right. All right, let's flip it. That's what I was thinking, that we hope the trainer attacks, or the tamer attacks, and then we just but I think it's too risky. We can still do it next turn, but we can't flip it if we do that. I'm gonna flip it. And now we still have a trade on the tamer. Our hand is face up. We have no cards. Great attack. We have to choose what to trade for this. They can only make it a 3/3 death touch, but that means it's either the champ or the castigator. I think we got to go castigator here and continue to give the champ a chance to keep growing, and especially trade for a death toucher so that this can get big enough to actually block and survive against this stuff. Probably let it go Knight again, and then it's going to be a tough act to get 2 spells. Oh, Consider would do it, though. Hey, Consider. Consider gets us, hopefully, 2 spells, unless we're wildly unlucky. Gosh, I'm just so... like, I think hard before I click these buttons now. Very nice. Do we want zombie swings while the zombies are powerful, or do we want to... I mean, we have a Scob Wrangler, so if we wait for Wrangler, that's another. We can do this and this. You could even make a case for the champ. What do you think? Definitely sending the tokens here. I've decided on that. What do you think about the champ, though? Yeah, they have to lose their tamer to block, realistically. It doesn't threaten lethal, though. Maybe if this were 8 and it was legit threatening lethal, I would. But I think without threatening lethal, we just send the zombos. The fakies. But would they? I'm afraid of, like, them going to 1 and then winning on the crackback with pump or something. But I didn't think through specific cards, so maybe I'm afraid of ghosts. All right, and we got a revenge. Mill to the house. These can become 3/3s. Now I like, well, we should probably, they can pump both of these to 3/3s. Yeah, maybe, I kind of just win, but I'm just want to think this through carefully. Send all or just send champ? Because we could just send champ and let him do blocks and then blow out blocks. What about just champ, blow out blocks? Because we've been thinking they have this pump. Yeah, interesting lines. I'm gonna go with, they can't kill both our scobs? What do you mean? It only costs 2 to pump wolves. They've got lots of mana. They block, block, pump, pump, dead, dead. Well, not if they, like, when do you want to do this? When do you want to bounce? Because this is about whether we're clearing the way now with a bounce or trying to get him with combat trick bounce. Okay, that's fair. It does, but the thing is, they have something, but I guess they can't do it all, right? This keeps them from being able to do it all. Interesting situation, though. There were a couple of very viable lines, especially given we're pretty darn sure they have tricks in their hand they're up to. So this is what I'm saying, like, this is going to be okay for us. I'm wondering if responding to that with revenge with only a champ attack would have just been devastating. Now they get chump and eat. Yeah, we thought it through and made our line choice. I kind of leaned where chat was leaning, but yeah, there was some serious options that Oppo had here. And now, although I mean, it's an interesting choice. I guess they get a double block, kill Scob. And wolf, wolf. If they get a land, they go pump, pump, extra wolf. So I don't know, gang. I think the 6-5, the champ alone, hindsight 2020 and all, but champ alone would have been way better there. Way better. Still okay though, which is why we did it. The very true Griff backup would have got our got. Oh, really? That was not a line that was suggested? I feel certainly some people were suggesting attack all, bounce the pup. But I'm also wrong a lot. Did I miss any memes? I did. I missed this one.
Consider this. Consider this.
Another day, another chance to bounce. So close. Like, it's almost like winning. You think they'll double block? Go for the trade? Thing is, they might go for chump, try to win, but that would be okay too. Yeah, we could bounce the 1/1 and force the pup block. That could have been... I didn't really think about that, Elm, but I like that line. Yeah. We're not dead. Why would we... Are we dead? This is once per turn, right? So they go 3 and maybe 4. Boy, if we were dead with that line, a million people in chat wouldn't have suggested it. Well, they don't have to act first now. But let's give them a chance to. I guess pup, and then if they don't come up with anything else, it becomes another force block. We just have to come up with something of our own. And they can't really pump for extra damage, or they can't replay their own pup. So they kind of just have to let this go back. Yeah, they recast pup. Yep. But they're going to recast this too, so whatever. Fair enough. Don't know why they waited 15 years to kill the no-handed Oppo, but okay. Maybe they were explaining to their chat how dead I was. All right, well, there was a lot of possibility there. I kind of want to go back in the time machine and just see how it plays out with the other line, although as observed, it probably just goes duel. We respond to the duel. They respond with the Griff again, but it changes things a little bit. Not sure. Yeah, this felt a little better than 3-3, but it's tough to say anything is, you know, quote, better than 3-3 when winning half your games is what expectation starts at. Although even in this case, it's not like if we got 3 losses. If we go 2-3, it's over. We don't get a chance to play a 6th game and bring it to 3-3. So there's that. The low end of this deck wasn't the best, you know. We had some final cuts that were pretty medium. This is kind of our medium stuff over here. Considers are fine. I mean, you can call them medium, but I'll run a couple no problem. I like them. Everything else I liked. Maybe even Flip the Switch is getting a little medium. You saw how it was tough to work it. It was good when it was good, but you can get to the point where this is largely a dead card, and we were put in a spot where we had to basically cast it for no value other than the token and knew we were doing it. So this has lost its luster as well. So, and even Castaway is not at its best here. We have the 3 things to get rid of it, so it was pretty good. Pretty removal light, yeah. Although 2 Eaten Alives and a Midnight Ambush and some interaction in Revenge, Intruder, and the Geist Wave were not nothing. That being said, we did get halfway, which is nice, and we had the amazing comeback game, which is always fun. Always nice when your deck does its thing and you have a good Magic story. I got one to throw on my list of good games now. If you haven't seen that, check my spreadsheet. This one's on air, but my spreadsheet has a fantastic games tab that is just 17 land links of some of my the big stunners I've played off air. So, chat was covering the Eaten Alive, yeah. So there you go. There was a couple of Eaten Alives there that maybe made that a little bit better. The main thing is we got 2 packs out of it, which means we get to do a 10x. I think I'm closing in on 4x of rares here. I don't have gems showing up in the packs yet, but my untapped.gg says we are 952 out of 1,044. So a little under 100 rares under. Which means we probably won't... well, that's for mythics as well. So we're probably close on rares is what I'm saying. But I'm not too worried about it. Here we should, now we don't, this will be not gems either. I don't think we ever got 4x in this set. All right. Well, nothing matched the game 1 that we had after finding a way in that one. And landed 3-3. Yeah, I would have loved to make that leap to 4 wins and get to that near profit level. But at least we got out of the 250. Nothing getting stuck on 250 in Premier is where you feel like you've really taken a kicking if you do 2 wins or fewer. But we got our 3, so I'm going to be happy about that and be happy that I spend some of my day playing online Magic for an audience of friends, strangers, and trolls and bots. Thanks, everybody. And thanks, YouTube friends, for being a friend after the fact. See you later.